Back in 2012, after my diploma at GIG, I was working with a firm in East Legon. So I was doing my national service, I should say. Along the line in 2012, I found myself bidding on Chalewate. And for me, it was fun. I was doing it for fun. It was more or less like a hobby. Along the line, I realized that the people around me, my closest family, started to appreciate what I was doing. So now I started making necklaces, and for the first, I wasn't making to sell. I was making to wear to work to the office, and I started getting requests from my colleagues at work, to make for them to buy. So I was working and I was schooling. But at a point, the passion to concentrate on my work full-time was stronger than myself. So I remember in 2016, on March, the last day of February 2016, I went to work, and I told my boss, I'm done. It was something that had been discussed. He hadn't given me the green light, but that day, first March was my birthday, and I wanted to start the journey of doing my business full-time on my birthday. So I told him, he said, well, I can see you've made up your mind, and so I'll let you go. So that moment, the decision was to give myself 5 years into my own business, and after the 5 years, I can come back on track to my career. That is what I studied in school. So from 2016 to last year, 2019, it had been great, it had been challenging, it had been fulfilling, but one thing that happened in 2019 that I won't be able to forget in my journey as an entrepreneur was when I received a call about 5 a.m. on the 24th of April 2019 that my 2 container shops had been demolished. I got there, and for a moment I couldn't say anything. I remember I just sat on the floor. I sat on the floor. I couldn't feel my legs because everything I had worked for like the past 7 years had gone down the drain. I picked nothing. I didn't pick anything. Everything had gone down the drain. I remember it took me 3 days to come to the realization that I had lost everything. It took me 3 days to be able to cry. It took me 3 days to be able to accept everything. 3 days. But one good thing was that when I decided to do this full-time in 2016, I had a vision, I had a dream. I gave myself a certain timeline, and that timeline hadn't expired yet, so I wanted to fight on to see what could come out at the end. So I had to put together every resource I had left, I had saved, to restart everything from scratch. I continue with the strategy I was working on before. If you place an order with me and you don't make at least 60 to 70%, I don't start your work, because it's out of that money that I buy the raw materials to do your work. I didn't have any or much capital to continue with. So when you pay me for your work, I go to Accra. So what happened was, in a week, I could go to Accra as many times as possible, because when your order comes, I have to go. I didn't have much raw materials to work with. It was very challenging. It was very tough. And usually when I have to go to Accra, I need to wake up at 4 a.m., get to Accra by 6, because by 8 a.m. I should be here, because I have lessons at 9 a.m. I have students or trainees who come in at 9. So I have to wake up early, go, come. It's not been easy. So first of all, I would want to say that whatever thing you put your mind and your heart to do, believe in God, believe in yourself, and be ready to face whatever comes your way. Secondly, I'd want to urge Ghanaians that let's support our own. Let's support made in Ghana stuff.